Of all the people, you will find the most hostile to the believers are some Jews and idolaters, and you will find the nearest and most affectionate to the believers are those who say, "We are Christians," because among them are priests and monks who are not arrogant. And when they hear what's revealed to the messenger, you'll see their eyes well up with tears as they recognize its truth, saying, "Our Lord, we believe, so count us among the witnesses." Why shouldn't we believe in Allah and what came to us of the truth? And why shouldn't we long for our Lord to join us with the righteous? So may Allah reward them for what they have said, with gardens under which rivers flow, to live there forever. That is the reward of the righteous. Those who disbelieve and deny our signs are the prisoners of hell. Believers, don't declare unlawful healthy foods made lawful by Allah, and don't go beyond the limits set by Him. Allah dislikes those who go beyond the limits. Eat the lawful and healthy food that He has provided you, and be mindful of Allah who you believe. Allah won't take you to task over oaths you make thoughtlessly. However, He will take you to task over any contracts that you seal with solemn oaths. The atonement for the breaking of oaths is feed 10 needy people the same food as you would typically feed your family, clothe them, or free a slave. Whoever hasn't the means to do this should fast for 3 days. That is the atonement for breaking oaths that you have sworn. So keep your oaths. This is how Allah explains His verses so that you might be grateful. Believers, wine, gambling by drawing lots, the use of pagan sacrificial altars, or foretelling the future with arrows are filthy works of Satan. Reject them so that you may succeed in life. Satan wishes to sow enmity and hatred between you using wine and gambling, and to divert you from the remembrance of Allah and performance of the prayer. So will you not stop? Obey Allah and the Messenger and beware. If you turn away, that will be bad. You know our Messenger's duty is to deliver the message clearly. The believers who do righteous deeds shouldn't be blamed regarding their past wrongs, so long as they are mindful believers, doing righteous deeds, and thereafter they continue to be mindful and to believe in Allah. And now they are still mindful and striving for perfection. Allah loves the righteous. Believers, Allah will test you by bringing the animals you hunt within reach of your hands and spears. So Allah marks out whoever fears Him without ever having seen Him. So whoever after that goes beyond the limits set by Allah will suffer a painful punishment. Believers, don't hunt and kill animals while you are in the sanctified state of pilgrims. The penalty for killing an animal intentionally is sacrifice a livestock animal near the Kaaba that is judged to be equivalent by 2 just men. Atone by feeding the needy, or fast an equivalent number of days to realize the seriousness of his action. Allah has pardoned what happened in the past, but whoever transgresses from now on, Allah will punish him. Allah is the Almighty, the Avenger. Catching fish from the sea and eating it are made lawful as a concession for you and for the traveler, but you are forbidden to hunt on land while you are in the sanctified state of the pilgrim. So be mindful of Allah, before whom you will be gathered. Allah has made the Kaaba a sacred house, built for the benefit of humanity, along with the sacred months and the sacrificial and garlanded animals. This is how you know Allah has knowledge of all that is in the heavens and on earth. Allah knows everything. You must realize that Allah is severe in His punishment, but also forgiving, kind. The messenger's duty is to convey the message. Allah knows well what you reveal and what you conceal. Say, the good and bad are not the same, though the abundance of the bad will surprise you. So be mindful of Allah, you who are understanding, so you may succeed. Believers, don't ask too many questions. If they are answered, they would cause you difficulty, and if you ask while the Quran is being revealed, they will be made clear to you. Allah has kept silence about them. Allah is forgiving, gentle. People before you asked such questions, and when they were answered, they completely ignored them. Allah didn't order the veneration of camels whose ears are split before being turned loose, she-camels which roam free, camels dedicated to idols that can't be slaughtered, and camels which mustn't be mounted. Rather, it was the disbelievers who invented lies about Allah, and most of them lack the power of reason. When they are told, "Come closer to what Allah has revealed and to His Messenger," they say, "What we found our forefathers practicing is enough," even though their forefathers knew nothing and had no guidance. Believers, you are responsible for yourselves. Those who are misguided can't harm you if you stay on the right path. You will all return to Allah, and He will tell you what you did. Believers, when death approaches you, get two just persons to be witnesses to your last will and testament. If you happen to be on a journey when the pangs of death strike, take any two witnesses from another tribe. Keep the two witnesses back after the prayer, and should you have any doubts, let them both swear by Allah. We will not sell the testimony for any price, even if a close relative is involved. Nor will we hide Allah's testimony, for in that case, we would be sinful. If it turns out that the two witnesses are judged guilty of a sin of perjury, then let two other witnesses take their place from amongst those whose right hand has been taken away. Then let them both swear by Allah, our testimony is more truthful than theirs, and we haven't transgressed. In that case, we would be wrongdoers. It's more fitting they produce their testimony in this way, or stand in fear that the previous oaths be upheld after they had pronounced their oaths. Be mindful of Allah and listen carefully. Allah does not guide the sinful people. On the day when Allah will gather His messengers and ask, "What response did you get?" They will say, "We have no knowledge. You are the knower of the unseen realms." Then Allah will say, "Isa, son of Maryam, do you remember my favors on you and your mother? I helped you with the spirit of the Holy One, so you could speak to the people when you were in the cradle and preach when you were a young man. I taught you the book, wisdom, Torah and the gospel, and gave you miracles. You made clay birds and blew into them so they flew like birds. You healed the blind and the lepers, and with my permission you raised the dead from their graves. And remember, I protected you from the attacks of Israelites when you preached to them with clear signs, and their disbelievers said, 'This is magic.' Remember when I inspired the disciples, 'Believe in me and my messenger?' They said, 'We believe and bear witness we have submitted ourselves to the will of Allah.' Remember when the disciples said, 'Isa, son of Maryam, can your Lord send down from heaven a table laden with food?' Isa said, 'Fear Allah if you are believers.' They said, 'We want to eat from it for reassurance, to know for certain that you have told us the truth, and we will be witnesses of this miracle.' Isa, son of Maryam, prayed, 'God, our Lord, send down from heaven a table laden with food, which becomes a festival for the believers of past and future, and a sign from you, and provide for us, for you are the best provider.' Allah said, 'I will send it down for you. Whoever denies my favor after this miracle, I will punish him with a punishment that no creature has ever been punished with. On the day of judgment, Allah will say, 'Isa, son of Maryam, did you tell people, take me and my mother as two gods besides Allah?' He will say, 'Glory be to you. How could I say something that I have no right to say? Had I said it, you would know. You know what's in my innermost being, and I don't know what is in yours. You are the knower of the unseen realms. I only told them what you commanded me to say. Worship Allah, my Lord and your Lord. And I bore witness to them to that effect while I remained among them. Then when you took me to yourself, it was you who were the guardian over them. You witnessed everything. If you punish them, they are your servants. And if you forgive them, you are the Almighty, wise." Allah said, "This day the truth of the truthful will benefit them. They will be in gardens under which rivers flow, living there forever. Allah is well pleased with them, and they are pleased with Him. That is the glorious victory. Control of the heavens, the earth, and whatever lies between them belongs to Allah, and He has power over all things." Surat Al-An'am, the cattle. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. Praise be to Allah, who created the heavens and the earth, and made darkness and light. Though the disbelievers hold up others as equal to their Lord, He created you from clay and fixed your lifespan, a lifespan firmly fixed by Him, but you still doubt. He is Allah in the heavens and on earth. He knows your secrets and all that you reveal, and He knows all that you do. When a sign from their Lord comes, they turn their backs on it, denying the truth when it comes to them. But news of what they joked about will soon come to them. Don't they realize we destroyed many previous generations? We gave them far more power in the land than we gave you, and how we sent abundant rain from the sky, making rivers flow. Eventually we destroyed them for their sins and raised up other people after them. Even if we sent down a book written on paper, which they could touch with their hands, the disbelievers would say, "This is nothing but magic." They said, "If only an angel came down to him." If we were to send an angel, that would only be to decide their fate, and they would have no more time after that. Just as we could have made the messenger an angel, we could equally have made the angel appear as a man, thus confusing them with their own attempt to create confusion. Messengers were mocked before you, and the very thing they once mocked swept away those who poked fun at them. Say, travel about the land and see what happened to the deniers. Say, who owns what is in the heavens and earth? Say, is it not Allah? He has decreed that He will be kind. Then He will gather you all on Judgment Day. In that there is no doubt. Those who through wrong life choices have failed themselves will not believe. Anything that is living, be it during the night or the day, belongs to Him. He is the hearer, the knower. Say, should I take a protector beside Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who feeds and is not fed? Say, I am commanded to be the first who submits and not to commit idolatry. Say, I fear the punishment of a mighty day if I disobeyed my Lord. Whoever escapes the punishment of that day and is treated kindly will have a clear victory. If Allah decides to punish you, no one can remove it except Him, and if He decides to benefit you, He has power over everything and exercises control over His servants, the wise, the aware. Say, who could be the biggest witness? Say, it is Allah, a witness for you and me. This Quran has been revealed to me, so I should warn you and anyone else its message reaches. Do you believe there are other gods besides Allah? Say, I won't bear witness to that. Say, there's only one God, and I am not involved in what you associate with Him. Those previously given the book know this is true, just as they know their own children. As for those who through their life choices in life have failed, they will not believe. Who is a worse wrongdoer than the one who invents lies about Allah and denies His signs? Those who have failed themselves will not believe. The day we gather them all, we shall say to idolaters, where are the partners you claimed? In their confused state they will say, by Allah, our Lord, we never worshipped false gods. Look how they proved themselves liars, and how they deserted those they invented. Some hear you, but we have placed a veil over their hearts, so they fail to understand the Quran, and there is deafness in their ears. Were they to see all the signs, they still would not believe. When they come to argue with you, the disbelievers say, these are only the myths of the ancients. They prevent others from listening to it and themselves walk away. They are unwittingly destroying themselves. If you could see them on Judgment Day when they stand staring at the fire, they will say, if only we could be returned and instead of denying our Lord's signs, become believers. No way. What they once used to hide will appear before them. Suppose they were returned, they would simply go back to doing what they had been forbidden. They are liars. They say, only our worldly life exists. We won't be brought back to life. If you could see them as they stand before their Lord, He will ask them, isn't this real? They will say, by our Lord, it is. It will be said, taste the torment of what you denied. Those who deny meeting Allah shall be losers when the final hour suddenly overtakes them, and they will be carrying a burden on their backs and say, alas for us, we wasted this life. Isn't evil what weighs them down? This worldly life is a sport and an amusement. The home of the hereafter is far better for mindful people. Don't you understand? We know, Muhammad, you are saddened by what they say. They can't turn you into a liar, but the wrongdoers are disputing Allah's signs. Messengers before you were also called liars. They were patient in the face of the lies and insults they suffered until our help came to them. No one can change Allah's words, and reports of the messengers have already come to you confirming this. If you find it difficult to bear their rejection, then if you can, look for a tunnel in the ground or a ladder to climb to the sky to bring them a miracle. If Allah wanted, He could have united them all on the path of guidance, so you mustn't be like the ignorant. Only those who listen will answer. Allah will resurrect the dead and they will return to Him. They say, if a sign were to come down to him from his Lord, say, Allah has the power to send down a sign, but most of them do not know. There is no creature on land or a bird flying in the sky that does not belong to a community just like yours. We haven't left anything out of the book. They will be gathered before their Lord. Those who deny our signs might as well be deaf and dumb and groping about in the dark. Anyone Allah wills, He lets him go astray, and anyone He wills, He puts on a straight path. Say, suppose Allah's punishment or the final hour was to come now, would you call anyone other than Allah? No, you would call Him alone, and if He so willed, He would sweep away whatever made you do so, and you would forget what you associated with Him. We sent messengers to many communities before you and put those communities through sufferings and hardships so that they might submit to Allah. They should have submitted when the sufferings came, but instead their hearts hardened and Satan made their works appear attractive to them. Once they forgot what they should remember, we opened up the floodgates of worldly provisions for them, and just as they were reveling in what they had, we suddenly seized them, and they were left in utter despair. The last traces of the evildoers were razed to the ground. Praise Allah, Lord of all the realms. Say, suppose Allah was to take away your hearing and sight and seal your hearts, which God beside Allah would make them work for you? See how we explain the signs, but they turn away. Say, suppose Allah's punishment was to catch you unaware or fully aware. The fact is, only the wrongdoers would be destroyed. We only sent messengers as bearers of good news and as warners. So, whoever believes and puts his life in order will neither fear nor grieve. Whereas those who reject our signs will taste the punishment for their sins. Say, I don't say I own the stores of Allah's riches, or I know the unseen, nor do I say I am an angel. I only follow what is revealed to me. Say, are the blind and the seeing equal? Why don't you think? Warn by means of the Quran those who fear being gathered before their Lord. Beside Him they have no protector or intercessor, so they may be mindful. And don't drive away those who worship their Lord morning and evening, seeking His pleasure. It isn't for you to judge them, nor for them to judge you. Were you to drive them away, you would be a wrongdoer. That is how we test some of them by means of others. So they say, are these the ones that Allah has favored over us? Doesn't Allah know best who is grateful? When believers in our revelation come to you, say, peace be on you. Your Lord has decreed that He will be kind. Whoever unwittingly does evil and then repents and reforms himself will find Allah forgiving, kind. This is how we explain the signs, so that the way of the sinful may be clearly distinguished. Say, I am forbidden to worship those you serve beside Allah. Say, I will not follow your desires, because if I did so, I would go astray and fail to be guided. Say, I have clear proof from my Lord, the one you have rejected. What you want to hasten is not in my control. The decision is Allah's, who tells the truth and the best judge of truth and falsehood. Say, if what you seek to hasten were in my control, then the matter that divides us would have been settled by now. Allah knows well the wrongdoers. He has the keys of the unseen realm, only He knows them. He knows all that is in the land and sea. Not a single leaf falls without His knowledge, no seed buried in the darkness of the earth, nor any fresh or withered plant is left unrecorded in a clear book. He receives your soul at night and knows what good or evil you have done during the day, and He raises you up every morning so that your fixed term may reach its conclusion. After that you shall return to Him, and it is then that He will inform you of what you did. He is dominant over His servants, And he sends forth angel guards so that whenever death overtakes one of you, our angels bring back his soul, never failing in their duty. Then they will be returned to Allah, their true master. Doesn't the final decision rest with him? And isn't he the swiftest of reckoners? Ask them, who rescues you from the dark dangers of land and sea when you call him humbly in the secret for help? All the while saying, if he rescues us from this, we will indeed be thankful. Say, it is Allah who rescues you from that and every other danger. But then you go back to associating false gods. Say, only He is able to punish you from above and beneath your feet, or create conflict and factions, so some may taste the violence of the other. Consider how we explain the signs so they might understand. Your people, Muhammad, deny all this, even though it is the truth. Say, I will not be your guardian on Judgment Day. Fulfillment comes to every prophecy, as you will discover in due course. Whenever you see anyone mocking our verses, turn away from them until they change the topic of conversation. And if Satan made you forget, as soon as you remember, leave the gathering of the wrongdoers. Those that are already mindful of Allah are in no way accountable for the wrongdoers. Their role is to remind, so they might become mindful. Stay away from those who regard their religion as a sport, amusement, and are deceived by the attractions of this worldly life. To prevent any person being needlessly lost to hell because of the fruits of their actions, mention the fact that they will have no protector or intercessor beside Allah, nor will any ransom be accepted. They will be in hell as a result of their actions. They denied, so they shall have boiling water and painful punishment. Say, shall we worship beside Allah things that can neither benefit nor harm us, and turn back on our heels once Allah has guided us, like someone who is distracted and tempted by earthly demons, even though he has friends calling him to the truth, saying, come to us. Say, Allah's guidance is the only guidance, and we have been ordered to submit to the Lord of all the realms, and to perform the prayer and be mindful of Him. Before Him you will all be gathered. He created the heavens and the earth for a purpose. A day will come when He says, be, and it will be. His word is the absolute truth. All things will return to Him on the day when the last trumpet sounds. He is the knower of the seen and unseen realms, the wise, the aware. Remember when Ibrahim said to his father Azar, have you taken idols as gods? I see you and your people are misguided. That's how we showed Ibrahim the splendor of the heavens and the earth, so he became a firm believer. As the night grew dark around him, he saw a star. He thought, could this be my Lord? After it set, he said, I don't like things that set. Similarly, after seeing the moon rising, he said, could this be my Lord? But after it set, he said, if my Lord doesn't guide me, I will stray. When he saw the sun rising, he again said, could this be my Lord? This is big. After it set, he said, my people, I am free from what you associate with Allah. I naturally turn my face to Him who created the heavens and the earth. I won't associate partners with Him. On hearing this, his people began to argue with him. So he said, are you arguing with me about Allah, who guided me? I'm not afraid of those you associate with Him, unless my Lord wants something else. My Lord has knowledge of all things. Will you not listen? Why should I be afraid of things you associate with Him, when you're not afraid to associate others with Allah, about which He has sent you no authority? Which of our two parties, you or me, deserve to enjoy security if you have knowledge? It is those who believe without mixing their faith with idolatry who shall enjoy security, and it is they who are guided. Such was the evidence that we gave to Ibrahim to use against his people. We raised him as high as we wanted. Your Lord is wise, knowing. We gave him Ishaq and Yaqub and guided both as we had previously guided Nuh. And among Ibrahim's offsprings were Dawood, Suleiman, Ayub, Yusuf, Musa, Harun. That is how we reward the righteous. Zakaria, Yahya, Isa, Ilyas. Each one was upright. Ismail, Al-Yasa, Yunus, and Lut. Every one of them we favored over all the people. And some among their fathers, offspring, and brothers, we chose them and guided them along a straight path. Such is Allah's guidance, by which He guides His servants as He pleases. If any of them had associated partners with Allah, then the reward of whatever good deeds they had done would be worthless. We gave the book, the law, and the prophethood to them. Even if these people reject it, we nevertheless entrusted it to people who accepted it. Allah guided them, so imitate them in their guidance. Say, I don't ask you for any reward for this. It's a reminder for all people. When they said, Allah has never revealed anything to a human being, they failed to recognize the true greatness of Allah, which is His due. Ask, who revealed the book Musa brought as a light to guide people, which you keep in scrolls, openly declaring some of it and hiding lot of it? And you were taught what neither you nor your ancestors knew. Say, it is Allah. Then leave them to amuse themselves with their foolish chatter. This is a blessed book that we have sent down, confirming what came before it, so you might warn the people of the mother of cities and of its surroundings. Those who believe in the hereafter, they believe in this book, taking care to observe their daily prayers. Who is more wrong than the one who invents lies about Allah, or says, it has been revealed to me, when in fact nothing has been revealed to him, or says, I will send down the same as what Allah has sent down. Were you to see the wrongdoers in death throes, when the angels stretch out their hands saying, let out your souls, today you will be rewarded with the punishment of contempt because of what you falsely said about Allah, arrogantly rejecting His signs. You came to us all alone, like the first time we created you. You have left behind the favors we gave you, nor do we see your intercessors with you, those whom you claimed were Allah's partners. The ties between you and them have been severed, and whatever you used to claim as a partner has deserted you. Allah is the one who splits open the seed and the fruit stone. He brings the living from the dead and the dead from the living. Such is Allah. So how were you misled from the truth? He splits the darkness with the dawn and made the night for resting, and the sun and the moon for accurately measuring time. Such is the precision with which He reassures, the Almighty, the Knowing. He made the stars for your guidance through the darkness of land and sea. We explained the signs to a group of people who know. He created you from a single soul, with a place of settlement in life and another where you will be buried. We have explained the signs to a group of people who understand. He sent down water from the sky, by which we produce blossoms of every kind, and lush greenery. Furthermore, we produce pods with seeds packed together, and from the flowering part of palm trees, low-hanging clusters of dates, and orchards of vines, olives and pomegranates. Some look alike and others different. Look at their fruits as they grow and ripen. There are signs in that for people who believe. Some people have taken jinn as partners of Allah, yet He created them, and falsely ascribed sons and daughters to Him without any knowledge. Glory be to Him, He is exalted far above what they describe. He is the originator of the heavens and the earth. How could He have a son when He has no mate? He created everything and He knows everything. Such is Allah, your Lord. There is no God but Him, the creator of everything, so worship Him. He governs everything. Our eyes cannot perceive Him, but He perceives what our eyes see. He is the subtle, the aware. Say, Muhammad, visible proofs have come to you from your Lord. Anyone who looks at them, it is for his own benefit, and whoever remains blind to them, on his head be it. I am not sent to watch over you. This is how we explain the signs. But the disbelievers say, you have been taught. We wish to make them clear for people who know the truth. Messenger, follow what is revealed to you from your Lord. There is no God but Him, and turn away from the idolaters. Had Allah willed, they would not have associated anything with Him. We've not put you there to watch over them, nor are you responsible for them. Believers, don't insult anything they worship beside Allah. They will insult Allah out of hostility and ignorance. That is how we made every community's actions appear attractive to them. They will return to their Lord, and He will inform them of what they did. The idolaters swear solemn oaths by Allah that if a miracle came to them, they would believe. Say, miracles come only from Allah. What would make you realize that even if a miracle came, they still wouldn't believe, and that we would turn their faculties of intellect and sight upside down because they failed to believe in it the first time, leaving them to wander blindly about in their wickedness. Assalamu alaikum.
peace and blessings with you all. Thank you for visiting our channel. Please remember us in your du'as. If you enjoyed listening to this translation of the Holy Quran, please consider subscribing and sharing our efforts with everyone and anyone. May Allah accept this effort of ours as sadaqah for us and our loved ones and make it a means of our success in this life and the Akhira. Ameen. Summa Ameen.